Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Willfully Wrought. My name is William, and today I'm just really excited to be going live with an entirely new setup, and it's kind of weird, and I don't know where all my buttons are.
And my name is Will. I'm also here excited to be along for the ride.
It has been kind of a wild week, man. It has been absolutely wild. There's some weird stuff going on, and I'm still catching up. Work's been a whirlwind. There's lots of things going on, but how about you, man? How about you?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind over here too in the Great White North. Today was one of our chilliest days. The summer is gone far behind us, and we're well into fall and autumn. Trees are starting to turn color. It's not just green anymore. There's a lot of yellows and reds popping up. So really excited about that. Was it 80 degrees over there in in Kansas City today?
Well, no, I don't think it got up to 80. Like, I didn't really check the temperature. I've been nose deep in everything but my phone. Um, that
Sometimes it's good to go out and touch the grass though. So
oh, no, that's not at all what I'm doing. I prefer that.
yeah.
It was actually rather chilly today. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like by comparison, humidity's a bit lower. There was a big weather break 2 or 3 days ago. The pressure really dropped, and it was actually super comfy outside. I do remember
Nice.
coming home yesterday, and I walked from outside into inside, and I was mildly uncomfortable because it was the exact same temperature in my apartment as it was outside. So I expected it like, oh, it's gonna be nice and cool and refreshing. That's not what happened. Uh, but yeah, man,
Yeah.
the weather's a changing.
It sure is. I woke up this morning. I'm an early bird. I have to wake up at 5 every day. Um, and I was cold. I was cold. I had to turn on the heater.
that
It was
happen-
that cold.
that happens when you get old, man.
I know.
But
I know.
for our listeners and people who are out there watching now, we are trying a whole new setup. There's going to be some technical snafus, of course. Our audio is probably off par, but we previously used some software to handle everything that we did, and now we're not. We're doing a lot of that manually. So please bear with us, and I appreciate that. As part of that, we had a pre-show question loaded on the. Loaded on the well, the slide, really more than anything else.
Yeah.
And what is your end of the world snack, Will?
Okay. So I'm of two minds. How deep into the end of the world are we? Is
Uh,
is it happening, or is this like wandering wasteland?
okay, when I pictured end of the world, for me, it is like post-apocalyptic. The end of the world has happened, and
Got it.
society is now in ruins, and you are surviving.
The
That's
rapture happened and the world is mine. Understood.
yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. I have to go with beef jerky. Teriyaki beef jerky. That's my go-to. It's always been my go-to. Um, if and well, let's be honest, all candy is just gonna be fine decades after the end of the world. Peachos, peach rings.
Oh, peach. Oh, okay. Peach rings are delicious.
Yes.
Those didn't cross my mind, and I'm a little upset because I also chose beef jerky, but
Yeah.
not teriyaki. You
Okay.
heathen! I don't know what's wrong with you. The peppered steak beef jerky. I want spicy. I want it to register on the palate, and I want it to burn the mouth a little bit. Like if the world's bad, I want the excitement with me everywhere I go, even if it's my tongue burning. So
Very good. If they're still good, I would say for beverage, I'd probably pull like a Gatorade Propel water because those probably don't expire until a few years after they hit shelves.
Oh, that's true. I do know that Mountain Dew in a plastic bottle does expire about 2.5 years after the sell by date.
But
Um,
listen, if you're living in the post-apocalypse, it's probably because people drank too much Mountain Dew. Let's be
I
honest
mean,
here.
maybe, but Mountain Dew is delicious. But pre-show
It's
aside,
poison. It's poison, William.
yeah,
It's
listen,
poison.
listen, poison can be delicious.
Yes, you're right.
Considering they make the fake vanilla flavoring from beaver glands.
Oh,
I'm not
do
going to be
they?
too hard. Yeah, that's that vanilla smell that you like when you've smelled like real vanilla, and there's a
Mhm.
wholeness and an earthiness to it that is absolutely not in the fake vanilla scent. Like there's some really strong vanilla perfumes that
Sure.
and they smell of the fake vanilla scent. And I'm not calling it like bad. I enjoy vanilla all around, but that vanilla smell and the vanilla flavor that they put in things like your vanilla syrup, it's that is made from beaver glands.
Man,
um yeah.
you know what? I know that we're using new systems and stuff, but going forward, anytime you share a fact like that, we need a the more you know
Adding a
to
more you know wife.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can do that. I'll do that.
Yes.
I'll put that in my notes. Um, but we do have a few things from news. I've got a couple stories to relate from my drive, my recent trip to Florida. I spent some time down there to see family, and it was super nice to just be there and be with them. And it's it's always good to be surrounded by blood, man. It feels
Yeah.
nice. Just a unusual place I saw down there. A couple tools on the web. I think you'd mentioned Taylor Swift and Stephen King, and of course we also got some AI madness. Of course, why not? Uh,
You know, I am looking forward to this AI conversation. And I always look forward to all of our conversations, but this one I'm really excited to dive in because we got litigation like thoughts
yeah.
happening. We got an entire industry is about to is being rattled right now,
Oh yeah.
and it is very exciting to talk about, to hear about, and to learn about. So, yeah, pumped about tonight.
Absolutely, man. Oh, well, I'll kick things off with a little story in Florida. Oh, hey, do we do have an audio? Hey, thank you for letting us know that the audio is fine. I was unaware of the quality of audio because I can't hear it anymore. So we'll just go with it and hope that it's fine. Thank you for the update there. I recently, I've been living in the Midwest actually longer than I lived in the state of Florida now, and I think I'm officially a Missourite or Missourian or whatever,
Missourian.
Missourian,
Missourian.
whatever we call ourselves, and it's I've been driving back and forth to Florida. Like it's one of the few places I could drive to without GPS, which I have trouble making it to some of the places within 2 miles of my home without GPS because I have no sense of direction. But I could drive to Florida with no GPS whatsoever. I know the interstates by heart now, which is weird. In any case, this year I flew into Tampa. And my niece picked me up from the airport. Thank you, niece. I appreciate that. And she drove me north on the Sun Pass route. I don't remember the name of the road because I've never driven it, but there was an unusual name on a road sign, and just the spelling of it actually stood out, and I wasn't sure what it was, and you know. I saw it and I was like, well, what is this? So I pulled it up on my phone and my niece is driving. So I'm just rattling off facts about this little place called Masaryktown, Florida. And I really hope I got the pronunciation right. So
Masaryk.
Masaryk, Masaryktown.
Nice.
It's a little, and I mean very little place down in Hernando County, Florida, north of Tampa, south of the Gainesville area. Right there on like the lower part of like the elbow that is the Big Bend in Florida, and because the name of the town was really unusual, I just did some looking into it, uh, I'm just going to rattle off a bunch of facts just because it's super interesting. The town is 1 mile square, uh, 1 mile east west, and 1 mile north south. And
It's perfectly square.
Yeah, it's a little square town, and it is named after one of the founders of the town, Tomas Garrigue Masaryk, who was a Czechoslovakian immigrant, and he was actually the first president of Czechoslovakia. And,
Wow.
and I was like, okay, so it's little square of land, and they founded the town as an incorporated. So it was a company town originally, and they formed this the Hernando Plantation Company with the idea, and they with all these family. There was like 15 or 20 families there in Masaryktown. They're like, hey, we're going to found this company and we're going to grow oranges. We're going to go
Hmm.
grow oranges all over the place, and it seemed like a really great idea, except there was a killer frost in
Oh,
1952
oh
that
no,
literally killed every tree in their grove. So
bummer.
the town immediately found itself on really dire straits because the whole idea was getting these families together to start this business, to start this new life, and then the weather said nah.
Hmm.
Not much you can really do about the weather disagreeing with your plans. I think we've all seen that in real life. And
Yeah.
then they decided to switch from citrus to poultry farming. So they started a really widespread poultry business, and they had several mini chicken coops until they were forced to shut down in 1965 because too much competition had popped up in that part of Florida. So they could no longer no longer found poultry. However, the town is still going. All the east west streets are named after Czech peoples and Czech monuments, and all the north south streets are named after American presidents. And
Hmm.
I'm there's only a mile each way. There can't be that many.
So I want to, but I want to know this: is there a certain point where you don't? Because I don't remember every single president that's been named, but I'm sure that there are certain Czechoslovakian presidents who also have very eh, vanilla sounding names as
Uh,
well.
yeah, it's a. I I feel like unless you grew up in the area, if you were just like if you got a pizza delivery in
Yeah.
Masaryktown, Florida, and you weren't native to the area, I feel like you would have a lot of trouble navigating just by the sound of the street names.
Yeah.
You could find your way off of Jefferson, no problem, but Marigue might be a little bit different. So
Right.
I I just found that it was just a really interesting piece of information about this very little town in Florida, and I just thought it was super cool. In 2000, they ran a census. The census ran in 2000, and the population was about 920 people. So there's still 1,000 people living in the town. And here in 2020, the census run again. They're up to 1,100. So it
Wow.
is still growing. Like, and I just
Great.
it's super super cool, and it's just one of those little places that if I hadn't saw the weird shape of the lettering on a road sign, I never would have done any research into it. I never would have learned about the misfortune of these freezes that murdered a citrus crop, and I never would have learned that there's a town that's almost exactly 1 mile by 1 mile.
You know, I love that because it's so easy to like if you say that like you're going for a run and you live in the middle of town, you can literally go to the edge of town and back, and that's a mile. Or you can run 4 miles, 4.5 miles by living in the middle of town, going to one side, and then running around the border and then back. So that I guess that'd be 5 miles, yeah, because you half mile around and then another half mile
Yeah,
back home.
nice clean 5 mile run.
That is a nice 5 mile.
That's super. I wonder if they do marathons down there. That did not pop up in my Wikipedia ransacking about the
William, I
history.
think you need to relocate and become the mayor of this town just so you can start call it like the I don't know, the Florida Square 5 square, you know?
I do think it'd be a lot of fun, but I just wanted to share this little town out in the middle of nowhere, and I just thought that it would be really interesting. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. Better know a township. I think that's a new segment here with Willfully Wrought.
I can, I'll come back at our next broadcast. I'll tell you about my old stomping grounds. Nothing like good old Gulf hammock.
Listen, when you said because I felt for it when you said that a frost came into Florida and killed off their entire orange uh grove. Uh I lived in Alabama for a little bit. you and I both did our stint in the South. Mine was a little shorter than yours, but I remember when frost hit Alabama, good old Dothan, Alabama, whose number one export there for a while was the peanut. It's the only town
Ooh.
in the country that has a statue made out to the boll weevil, which is an insect that helped the peanut flourish.
Okay.
Um, but I remember when frost would come, there were people who lived there who didn't own closed-toed shoes.
Oh, yeah, no, I absolutely believe that.
You lived it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can remember being, like, 13 years old and going down to catch the bus one morning, and it was the coldest that I can ever remember it being. It was 14 degrees.
That's cold.
Yeah, Florida's not really, like, made for that. Like, it can
No.
handle it, but it's definitely not something you really see pop up a lot.
Well, no,
And,
and when it gets that cold, people just stay inside.
yeah, people throw on coats at 60, and they're like, "It's freezing out," and I'm like, "It's still shorts weather." Uh,
Yep, yep, for sure.
absolutely, man. Well, you wanted to, throw a topic out there? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think the biggest topic of the night is gonna be the AI, so we're gonna save that for last.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through some of our other stuff. Taylor Swift released a new album.
Okay. I heard about this. YouTube thrust it into my face as I was doom scrolling,
Yep.
and I didn't really recognize it as being different from anything else with Taylor Swift. I just knew it was new, but I'm not like an avid follower. I know like her hit songs if I hear them come on, but I don't know much else about her other than like her and Kelsey.
Yeah. So I am also not a Swiftie. I am not. I know when a new I know when a new T Swift album is coming off.
T Swift
Out
album. All right.
Yeah, a new T Swift album. That's what the kids are saying, right? God, I'm so old. But my wife is a big Taylor Swift fan. My son really enjoys listening to Taylor Swift. But the discourse around this was really interesting. A lot of people saying, "Oh, we like it. We like the songs that she writes when she's breaking up with people because that's when she takes narrative and that's when she takes really big swings
Yeah.
as opposed to when she's happy and doing pop and stuff like that." So she she went on the Eras tour, which was a celebration of her entire catalog, which has a lot of different genres, not just pop, but country and folk, and there's just a lot of stuff that she can do. She's a very versatile artist. She's also a billionaire, but we won't focus on that
Yeah.
today. We won't focus on that. But it's amazing how many people are just like, I refuse to your songs aren't good because you're happy, is really what kind of the argument.
Ouch.
Yeah, which really kind of is unfortunate, um, because Taylor Swift, again, is a billionaire and doesn't really need your criticism, like,
Yeah.
she got your money, right?
Yeah.
So, who cares? But on a personal experience for this, I wasn't really going to engage in Taylor Swift's songs at all.
Okay.
Um, but I came home and my wife stopped me before I could even get out of my work clothes, and she said, "You have you heard any of the songs?" I said, "No, I've been working."
Okay.
um, and she said, "You have to listen to the song Wood." And I said, "Okay." So she pulled it up. I'm not going to read all of the lyrics,
All
but we're
right.
going to read a little bit. Okay. Um, let's see. This is okay. Here we go. 3 stanzas. All right. And baby, I'll admit I've been a little superstitious. Fingers crossed until you put your hand on mine. Ah, seems to be that you and me, we make our own luck. A bad sign is all good. I ain't got to knock on wood. So far, so good, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All of that bitchin', wishing on a fallen star, never did me any good. I ain't got to knock on wood. Ah, it's you and me forever, dancing in the dark. All over me, it's understood. I ain't got to knock on wood.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I wait. I want to interject for one moment. Your ah is fantastic. Continue.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. Okay. Now for the chorus. Forgive me, it sounds cocky. He amatized me and opened my eyes. Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see. His love was the key that opened my thighs. This is a song called Wood.
I mean, well, I mean, that's fantastic, honestly. Like, and people have a problem with this?
Well, um, so here's the thing. I I used to be okay. My wife is going to be laughing at this. I need to be truthful. I am a bit of a prude when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
I can be a bit of a prude. But she played this to me. And I had a big goofy grin
Yeah,
because all I could think was, "Ah, good for her,"
yeah,
and apparently good for Travis Kelsey.
yeah. Yeah. I still don't see an issue with this. Okay,
No, and my issue isn't with this song because I think that's really great, and I think it's wonderful that we have female artists celebrating their relationships and
yeah,
healthy sex lives. I think that is wonderful. No notes. As long as everyone is aware that the song is being made and who it's being made about, and everyone is copacetic,
yeah.
awesome. No notes. Um, also, again, I have not gone deep on the Taylor Swift oeuvre, uh, but it feels like one of the more racy songs I've heard in a while, at least since WAP.
Okay, yeah, yeah. That's what I was going to say. One, making a euphemism and using knock on wood is like
It's
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 very vanilla.
clever.
Yeah, it's super vanilla, man. It's the goddamn missionary of sex positions, and people are losing their mind over that. No. People aren't mad about that at all. This is my theory, having just heard all of that right now.
Okay.
Taylor Swift has been popular with young girls for what, a decade now. Like
Oh
she's
yeah,
got
longer.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's got 200 some odd songs out there, and people are growing up with her. They've been listening to her forever, and I just like anybody who listens to like one band forever, they're gonna release something you don't like. I don't think this has anything to do with the fact that she's happy. I think it's the fact that they looked at her as like a powerful woman. Like there's songs about her like breaking shit, right? Like, and and take
Yeah.
like the divisive hit and being mad about it, being angry, and like lending that power to her songs. At least I assume. Like I've heard like five of the songs, uh, and people really buy into that. And now it's like, oh, okay, well, she releases a song with lyrics that sounds like she's happy. That she's found something good instead of being angry about something. I feel like people are upset because they can't get angry with her, and I feel like that's part of it. Also, anybody that rides at the front of the pack for long enough gets
Mhm.
shot at, and
Of course.
yeah,
Of course.
I think that that's part of it. I mean, you even see it with like she's been in this relationship with Travis Kelsey for whatever amount of time. I don't track their things, but
At
it's
least 2 Super Bowls worth.
well, yeah, sure, and yeah, all both of them recently, and
Right.
and and I started seeing it then. Like people were getting mad that she's in a relationship, and like they start dogging on her, and like of course there's people, always been people that have hated her,
Part
and
part
that's
of that
fine.
I would say that part of that is people complaining. They tune in to watch Super Bowl, they tune in to watch football, and then they have to sit and watch just a woman enjoying football,
Yeah,
which I I can understand, but also, like, there is a subsect of people that just don't like seeing other people happy,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, of
So,
course. Well, that they enjoy seeing other people unhappy. Like it's
yes.
it's way more evil than they don't like seeing other people. They enjoy them being unhappy.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, but all I wanted to say is that I like that song. I think it's hysterical. I think it's wonderful. And I you're absolutely right. It is very vanilla, but I still find those lyrics very, very charming and
Yeah,
clever and she's always been a really good songwriter. I was talking to Xanda about this, my wife.
My
I
wife.
wanted to. I did not mean to go full bull rat there. I
Yeah.
apologize. um, but I asked her. I said, it really seems like every single one of her albums has been divisive in some way, except for Folklore, where she made a major change and shift in tone. And Xanda said, "Well, yeah, because she shadow dropped Folklore during lockdown." So everyone was like, "Oh, new Taylor Swift. Thank God."
Well, and in 19 and 20, people were just looking for anything. Like on,
Yeah.
that board game saw a huge boom, and tech saw. I
Mhm.
mean, there was a lot of stuff, but I don't know, man. If people had a problem with Taylor Swift before, then continue having a problem. Don't use a reference to a euphemism
Yeah. Well, I don't even
as a
think
new. Yeah,
I
like
don't
it.
know if they are. I think a lot of people are complaining that the songs on this album are a little too simplistic. Um, I know one criticism was that it sounds like none of these songs sound like, or okay, I'm trying to remember the exact wordage. I'm not going to get it, but essentially it boils down to this soundtrack sounds like a high school student who was bored and decided to write songs on their Casio.
Okay.
Which, listen, I was a kid who wrote songs on my Casio. This is way better than that, okay?
I never wrote songs on my Casio. I was
No?
just no, man. You know what I did with my calculator when I had just a normal calculator.
Your calculator.
Yeah,
You
listen.
spelled boobs?
Yeah, I did the math to spell boobs and showed it to people, haha. And then when I got a graphing calculator, I actually just figured out the formulas to graph boobs. I was still learning math. It was important, mind you, because you couldn't just go on the internet for everything. Google
No,
wasn't a
right.
thing. You had to ask Jeeves, and he was not very forthcoming with information.
No, no. Ask Jeeves was no Chat GPT.
Not at all, man. Nah, man. Because of our conversation, when we brought this up as a topic, I was like, I'm going to go listen to Taylor Swift's new album, and at every opportunity, I declined. But because there are people that don't like it, I'm going to go listen to that song at a minimum, and see and develop my own opinion on it. Yeah.
I think you'll enjoy it. I really do. I enjoy it. And I'm a prude.
We did get a couple of comments here. Uh, Rustin commented that Twain said that we're in misery. Yeah, Missouri is another one I hear tossed around. And Xanda commented that your is reminiscent of Chicken Little.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's an inside joke to
the entire world
children.
is this public on YouTube.
Yeah, now it'll be everyone's joke.
It's
But
our joke.
I was standing in so I was standing in for rehearsal for the musical written by Gene Mackey
Mhm.
um for Chicken Little. And I was standing in for the great um Danny Cox, who was playing uh the character of Rooster, an actual
Okay.
rooster. And in the script it says cockadoodle doo. Now, I had never seen Danny perform this, but I had just gone up and I had script in my hand and I was reading the part. Uh, and it got to that part, and instead of, and not doing that, I just read it. I just said, cock a doodle doo, a doodle doo, a doodle doo, cock a doodle doo.
Yeah.
And that shit slapped, man. It
Slightly different energy than they were expecting, I suppose.
it was it was very, yes, slightly different energy, but really funny.
Um, all right, man. So we've got a couple topics left. I actually want you to go ahead with Stephen King. Um,
Yes.
and then I'll hop in with the next topics because they all flow together really well.
Yes. Oh, and Xanda commented that character's name was Cocky Locky.
Cocky Locky. Oh, whoa, whoa,
Yes.
wait. That's a euphemism. I don't know. I have to hate it now.
But
You-
is it if it's a rooster?
well, I mean, It's a rooster.
Co- Okay, this had juicy. Oh no, it did have. Oh nope, never mind. Yep.
Yeah. Did you just learn
Listen,
how dirty Chicken Little is?
I did. Yes. uh, moving on.
Yeah. Stephen King, you say? Stephen King?
Yeah. So there was a news story that came out that Stephen King is now the most banned author in schools. And
Okay.
I don't know how to feel about that because I started reading Stephen King when I was in middle school. I would say that's an appropriate time for for a student or a young person to start reading Stephen King. Um, yes, because of themes, because of tone, because of gore, but also language. And yeah, like middle school, perfect. Because you
Yeah.
can read a book, and as a middle schooler, you can go, oh, there's bad language. Like, awesome. And then there's also, like, it's an adult novel. Those are adult novels. Um, I also remember being in fourth grade, sitting down in Truman Elementary and finding the book It
Oh, with the clown.
with the clown, Pennywise, and saying, I'm gonna read that. And I got through the first chapter and I said, I didn't retain any of this. And I put it right back on the shelf because that book is like 1,300 pages long. It's a
Yeah.
brick. Um, First off, I don't condone, I do not, two things about banned books. I don't condone banning books.
Yeah.
Also, I think if a book is banned, that should be at the top of your reading list.
Yeah. Well, I
Those
mean,
two things I think are very true.
yeah. Okay. If there's a list of things that are banned, the first thing I'm going to do is see what those things are. That just
Yeah.
draws attention to them. I'm glad that there's a banned books list, but I
Mhm.
don't want there to be banned books. Okay. There are some books. There are exceptions to that feeling, of course, and
But
I
I
think it's
don't, because here's the thing, because I think in terms of this, I don't think you can make exceptions because if we get upset at people banning Stephen King books, someone is going to say, well, if you're banning Stephen, if you don't want Stephen King banned, then you shouldn't ban Mein Kampf.
okay.
And I think that that book should not be banned, not because it has good ideas, it doesn't, but because it is a historical artifact that should be studied and should be looked at. Because I mean, look at what Disney is doing, for instance, with their older movies like Song of the South.
Yeah,
They put a disclaimer at the front disclaiming, hey, this is problematic, but for the respect of the time, we're showing it for what it is. Please understand that this is problematic. This has problematic scenes. Know this going in. And I think that's important. Um, I think banning books about uh, sexual biology is insanity. I think banning books about Islam, insanity. I think banning books about any one of anything is wrong
yeah,
because yeah, I'm gonna steal it. I'm gonna steal a phrase from the our latest martyr, Charlie Kirk. We should all have the opportunity to debate these ideas.
yeah. I wholly agree. The idea of like whenever conversation stops, that's when bad things happen. And putting a book away and locking it behind some, or really honestly, artificial barrier,
Yeah,
it's just going to create more interest, and it stops the conversation and it makes people have assumptions about it. These people that are like, I don't know who these people are. I'm just making assumptions. Somebody decides what books are banned. Somebody out there. And
typically when it comes to book bannings, that would be a school board or a board member. Someone says, I don't want my student learning about um I don't want my student learning about gay families. right? For
Yeah.
instance, I
Yeah.
don't want my I don't want my child learning about um I don't want my child learning about trans issues.
Or whatever topic, honestly. It doesn't matter
Exactly.
what the topic is. So there's a school board of people who have some commonality, who all live in a region, who are deciding what information that the next generation has access to. And I don't know, man. That just feels bad because you're going to get, I mean, of course, I mean, it's America. We're a melting pot. The
Yeah.
South is going to, I feel like the South has a different list of banned books than North Dakota. I feel like New York has a different list of books than California.
Yeah.
Like, how do we get consistency across the nation? Never mind. I feel like even across one state, you wouldn't really have a consistency. Of course, there's like a school board of a state, but I mean, are they sending people to classrooms to check things unless some Karen gets mad and shoots an email? It's just
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole thing sits wrong. Now, I do think there's some content that I don't want an 8-year-old reading.
Of
Uh,
course.
but there's a line between we're banning these books because we feel it's not safe for children, and we're banning these books because we don't like it. And
So
I feel like that line gets crossed a lot.
I I see it in a different way.
Okay.
So I grew up surrounded by books, right? My Both of my parents were college professors, intellectuals, and I grew up surrounded by books. I remember seeing my father and my mother reading books all the time. The and I knew for a fact that I could pick up any book and I could ask them questions about what I read in them. Now, again, when I was a child, those books didn't interest me because they didn't have pictures,
Yeah.
right? I'm a child, right? I still am that way. If it doesn't have pictures, if I don't have something to look forward to.
Yeah. Well, I remember the my school library at Bronson
Mhm,
Elementary School in Levy County, Florida. There were these little science books about like different things. I remember there was one about weather. I remember reading that one and enjoying it. I mean, it was all like 20 pages thick with a whole bunch of pictures in it. But man, I thought like meteorology was the shit. There was one about astronomy, and I think that like
mhm.
I can still kind of picture that book in my head. Like I might try to like Google it until I find the topic one day. Like that book got me into astronomy, and I think that that's what people are like using as a fear-based tactic. Oh man, if they read that one book, that's going to be their whole life now. It's just that's just not the way things
To
work. Like,
which I say, good.
well, I mean, it's good in that sense.
I would rather someone find a new obsession through reading. I really would.
Yeah.
Than the algorithm just say, "Hey, I think you're gonna enjoy this video."
Well, yeah, of course. The algorithm's designed to make them money. I think
Right.
that's like of course people make books to sell them. Blah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not going down that. Like people make books not just to make money. Whereas people make like 2-hour AI YouTube videos strictly to try to make money off of it.
And they
And
do.
oh yeah, yeah.
It's quite lucrative. William, we went into the wrong line of work.
Now damn us for wanting to talk and have human made content.
I
Uh
know.
No, we veered a little bit off of Stephen King, but
We did.
yeah, well,
But it's a bigger issue, right?
yeah,
It's a
no, I
bigger issue.
agree. Like it,
Yeah. Like this is important stuff. Um if there's one takeaway, dear listener, dear viewer, that you take away from this, if a book is on a banned list, read it.
yeah. I sh-
Because I'll tell you what, do you know what is the this is terrible. Do you know what the solution to banned lists is?
Recommended reading list.
Freaking commercialism.
Yeah, if you sell enough copies, it might not convince the school board, but it will get everyone reading it.
Yeah. I mean, Amazon has no banned list. At least
That's true.
not that I know of.
Oh,
I could be wrong on that, but I
What
don't
was
think I am.
there's like a number one banned book in the world. I'm trying to remember the name of the book. By interestingly enough, I saw it on a YouTube video. The King in Yellow.
What
Um, isn't
is
that like
banned?
yeah, isn't that like one of the most banned books from like back in the day?
I don't know. But The King
Uh,
in Yellow is what influenced H.P. Lovecraft to write his oeuvre. That's the second time I used that word this stream, and that's weird.
All right. Brief interlude. Ruslan comes in and says, in an interview, Taylor Swift was asked if she felt guilty about exposing exes in her songs, and her response was, "They should have been nice. I think people miss her dissing exes who treated her meanly." Uh, who? Oh wait. Entertain. Well, I missed the last word there because it's far away because my monitor's far away. But no. I agree, Wrestling. It's a little bit. It, if you are if you're dating a multi-billionaire who releases albums who millions of people will listen to immediately, then maybe you should be nice. You don't want to show up in one of her songs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
maybe just be nice anyway. I don't know. It's weird.
But also,
Courtesy,
but
yeah.
but also, and I'll say this: she's a billionaire, so maybe. Oh, I'm not gonna finish that thought. Never
Okay,
mind.
yeah, good on you. Tracy S says, "Hi, if a book is on a ban list, I go buy it." Yes, absolutely. Like a go. I mean that. It's how what is that thing? It's an effect where you're like, don't talk about it, but people are like, oh, what are we not talking? The Streisand effect. Uh, yeah. Where it's like, oh, hey, there's this thing we're not talking about. Oh, what is that thing? So I know. We it's like, okay, I'm tangenting again, but like
That's fine. That's fine.
earlier in my life when I was in my like early 20s, like 4chan had just become a thing, and I would talk to people about the bullshit I'd see on there, and they'd be like, oh man, where are you finding this? But as I grew out of that and moved on to Reddit, which is just people that were on 4chan that grew up a little bit. It's a I moved away from that, and talking about it became kind of taboo. Like, oh, you were there, that's where the FBI goes to catch child predators. Like that became the whole idea. So when you would talk about like infamous websites, you'd always have that person who try and be like, what's that website address so I know not to go there. Like it's the same things with these book lists. It's I disagree with book banning for the most part. I do feel like there's exceptions. I'll have to go find some titles. Maybe,
Can
maybe
you? Do you have any exceptions that you can think? I
not
mean,
that
I have
I'm.
personal.
I, I mean, okay, I do have a title specifically in mind that I will not say out loud because,
Wow,
yeah, it's awful. I'll send that
William,
to you in
that's
a message.
gatekeeping.
Yeah, yes, it is. Get mad. Um,
Okay.
I've made this decision. I will deal with it. But I'll send that title to you in a message and let you make a decision if you'd like to read it or not.
Now, is this a book that you've read, or did you just
Oh
hear
no, not
about
at all. I just saw the title and giggled to myself, like hee hee, bad words. Um, but
it? now, now, listen. Yes, I agree that certain books probably should not be included in the in a elementary school or middle school setting,
I do think
right?
age appropriate isn't banning. I
No,
get
and I think
that's probably the
not.
way to express that.
Also, not purchasing a book to be in a library is not banning it. That's
Yeah,
not saying because banning a book means that we actively no longer support this message, this author, and what it stands for. So when books are banned about people's personal experiences about being black in America, that's bad,
yeah,
right? Like,
and this is a school board who's making this decision, who all grew up in at least a regionally central area where they have specific sets of values that are more like central to their region. And it's
yes,
you can argue from outside of that, of course, that's bad, but internally, uh, it's you can argue in both directions. Now, I don't agree with their argument. I'm not saying that.
right.
I'm saying that internally in that region, they have a foundation for an argument based strictly on the culture of the area. I don't agree with their stance, but I do think there's an argument there.
I I do I do think that there is some hypocrisy in what
Oh
they're
yeah,
doing.
oh
Like
absolutely.
absolutely 100%. Yeah. I think banning books is for little small-minded people.
I agree. I agree. Don't ban books. Age appropriate, sure. I mean, I
Mhm.
think a lot of things should be I don't know looked at. Oh, and honestly, Will, you're a parent.
I
You
am.
make decisions for your child. about
Yeah,
what you believe is appropriate for them based on
I
their
do.
age. And as they grow, when you examine their emotional maturity as your direct contact with them, you can shift those things as they grow.
Yep.
And they, yeah, and that is totally fine for me. And that's not book banning.
And listen, no, I've also made a lot of mistakes in that respect. All right. There's only so much Bluey I can take, right? That's not true. I can watch
I could watch
Bluey
Bluey
on
all day.
repeat all day. Never mind. That was a
Yep.
bad example. Baby Einstein. There's only so much Baby Einstein I can take,
I don't
right?
know what that is, but yeah,
We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship,
I've heard enough.
going through
Continue.
the sky. Little Einstein, climb aboard. There's
Uh,
so much to explore. Okay, sorry, we're gonna get copyright.
uh,
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, yeah, like there was okay. In a moment of weakness, he saw a movie poster, and Xanda was like, "Yeah, we can watch that." And I jumped on it because I knew it was the first time that this would ever happen.
yeah.
Did I make a wrong choice? I did. We straight up watched Gremlins. Not a movie for a 5 and 6 year old. We stopped watching shortly after a gremlin was exploded in a microwave.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing you don't own any Furbies, so we don't have to.
uh,
We don't have to worry about your youngin microwaving your Furby.
he can't reach the microwave. That's all good.
That's
That's
not the
up high.
barrier. Step stools are real. All right.
Listen, he is getting taller. He is getting taller.
Yeah.
So that the time it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. Before we shift here, I would do another comment. Tracy, 100% age appropriate is not banning. I gotta say out. Library of Trenton has tons of Stephen King, Poe, stuff on the Holocaust, and so much more. If Trenton can do it, all schools can. So yeah, absolutely. Like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, just don't ban books in general, guys. I mean, yeah, put
No.
some warnings on it, sure. But I'm not for banning them.
And I think adding adding age restriction to some books in a educational setting is absolutely fine. I think
Yeah.
that's appropriate.
Listen, I've never seen a day school with a football team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we don't put toddlers, and I mean 5-year-olds specifically, because some
Sure.
people think they're toddlers till they're like 20, but that's not how it goes. Like, we don't put toddlers in helmets and put pads on and tell them to go tackle each other. Now, there are parents that would. The same
Yeah.
parents that like force their daughters to put on like the princess things when they're 5, but that's a whole different argument I have that we're
Yeah,
not ready
that's
for today.
different. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a reason we don't do that. Age restriction is totally appropriate, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I think we've beat this horse. Is that a Stephen King book? Beating a horse? Is that a
I'm sure somewhere someone has beat a horse in some way in one of his
yes?
books at some point.
All right. Getting ready to shift here. Oh, we got a couple more comments. Tracy says, "Oh my God, I've done that with Devin in South Park. I did not want to go, but he lost the bet. My son turned out to go. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it turns out it does not. Seeing one thing that your incident with Gremlins with your youngin is not going to ruin his development. It's just another thing in the road that you'll adjust for as parents, and he'll grow with as a child.
We did not watch all of Gremlins. We did stop.
Yeah,
We stopped when the main gremlin threw itself into the pool and spawned a million gremlins.
yeah, which
So
would be frightening. I could see.
that was a lot.
Well, you know what?
Uh,
That's an opportunity to go back and finish it later, man.
Absolutely. And it's funny, Tracy brought up South Park. Um, my mother-in-law saw showed him some South Park. We were not aware because she was watching him and she was getting ready for church. And she was like, "Oh, look, cartoons, watch this."
That's fantastic, actually.
I can laugh about it now. I can laugh
Yeah,
about it
yeah.
now.
I
I
can.
was not as
Yeah,
yeah.
in
I
the
was
moment.
not, in the moment I was pretty horrified.
Oh man. Shifting here. But yeah, I wanted to bring up. Sorry, new topic, everyone.
New topic.
um, I had wanted to bring up a fantastic tool that I saw on the web. This is going to get kind of high level, and we're diving into some AI shit. So hold your papers.
Let's everyone push our glasses
Yeah.
up on the bridge of our nose. Okay, here we go.
Actually, so, no, I learned about this tool out on the web called N8N, just very literally the letter N, the number 8, the letter N. And it is a service that you can use to put together like a flow chart, a series of web connected services. And you can have N8N execute a wild range of things. And uh, to help visualize this, I think I want anybody to like think back to like a job that they've had where you've got a certain set of tasks that you start to do in a certain order, especially like on a weekly basis, where you've got to get some emails in. And then you've got to take those emails, read them, put them together, and forward that on to leadership so that they can examine the content of those emails in the shortened form that you did. And then when they respond, you got to take their response and send it back out to the people that need the information. So you're sitting there assembling this information, you're taking information, assembling it, putting it together, sending it on, and someone else responds. You're taking that, disassembling it, and sending it back out. I think a lot of people have some tasks like that, or at least something similar, something that feels kind of honestly menial. But there's a lot of stuff like that on the internet. You see something you really like on Instagram, and then you just click the follow button. But you've also got a following on X or Twitter, so you got to take that. You've got to copy that. You can't just post a link. You got to go grab the video, bring it down, upload it personally so that you can share it there and try to make money, or your Facebook Shorts or whatever. Like any number of these short menial things, and what N8N allows you to do is to set up this whole process to do it one time. You spend a little more time up front, and then it's just you click the button once and it goes. And I mean virtually any web connected service. And that's not just like web research. I mean that's including like executing a search on Google, combing the results to follow a set of qualifiers that you wanted to put together, taking those websites and like reading them and making a summary of the information, and then posting that to a blog. And don't forget to generate an image. And you did nothing but click a button. And you could just set it up to happen at 9 a.m. every day.
Jeez.
So like it's something that it's tying all these services on the web together. You go and do this one big thing one time. You make your flow chart of information. You understand where things connect and what accounts they're using and how it's all connecting together. And then you just do it with one click and you walk away and it's done. And this is kind of the start of something that it's automation in the digital age. We automation in the industrial age was the steel coming off the truck and running through the factory and coming out looking like a car.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now it's the flow of information moving from one source to another, being processed and into another. And while all of that is wildly cool, and you can even do it with and this is something I didn't think. I run a home server. I've got smart lights in my house. I
Mhm.
don't have my fridge on the Wi-Fi, but I could. My washer, it just makes a loud sound when it's done. But you could have your washer text you when it finishes a load of laundry. Uh,
What a world we live in.
right. So you could have NAN running at home to when your washer finishes and sends a text. You can have that process it and send like a text to your everybody in your family saying the washer's done, and the last person in there was this person go do your laundry, instead of waiting for the next person to show up down there and it hasn't been flipped and all that. Like it goes from like your home life to anything you could do with Alexa to anything you can do
Wow.
out on the web. NAN lets you tie all of that together.
It's incredible.
It really is.
Does
And
it have any limits? Like, are there any limitations on it?
I mean, of course, there's going to be some websites that don't work, but honestly, we're in an age with tools like N8N where a lot of this digital work can be done for very little work.
Yeah.
Uh, put it all at the front, you hit go. And I think there's something more nefarious here. And I say nefarious because I think I'm becoming a crotchety old conspiracy theorist.
I was
Uh,
about to say,
yeah,
okay, here comes the here it comes.
yeah. Those clouds are getting ready to roll overhead. I better get ready to yell. Uh, so if I was the owner of N8N as a company, I'm less concerned about with setting these services up because the people that are going to set these services up are going to do it whether I'm there or not. What I
Mhm.
want to do, what I want to know is what they're doing with it. Because if I learn what
Mm.
they're doing with it, I have that information, and that is way more valuable to the big companies, your Facebooks, and Nvidias, and Googles, and Apples.
Yep.
Like those companies want that information. They want to know what consumers are doing with these fancy tools.
But
So
not
that,
just that, you can also optimize your product to have those pre-existing settings
yeah, just like when Facebook added Reels or when YouTube added Shorts. You
or
know what I
what
mean?
AI does right now in order to become AI, right? You have to train it.
Exactly.
And that's
This
what
is
this is. It's training. Whoa. Yeah,
I told you,
literally
man.
it is training human experience basically or human function. It's that's what it's doing.
Yeah.
It's learning that. It's wow.
Now, NAN is in itself not an AI thing. There's,
Sure.
in the flow chart of things you're putting together, like, do a Google search. You can then say, take this Google search and run it through an AI to summarize and turn it to make an outline and then generate an image based on each main heading in the outline. Like AI is just a
Right.
node in N8N.
It sounds to me like this is just an order of operations that you are having it do,
Yes.
although on a very complex scale with a lot of different electronics, hardware, software. Um, it's a very powerful tool.
Yeah.
It's a
Now,
very powerful tool.
and you say the word complex, but realistically, and then
Sure.
maybe I'm just being an asshole here, and please stop me. If you know how to log into more than one website at a
Sure.
time, you can use an 8N.
That's great.
So it's
Yeah.
it really is something that's going to be, if not innate in itself, but I'll have some further examples. Yeah, we had Google Gemini opened a thing called Opal, where you can, just type it in human language and it'll build an app for you. Now you have OpenAI's ChatGPT has an agent you can build by just a natural language query. You just say, "Hey, I want an agent to do this," and it'll do it for you. It'll build you an agent that does that. So we're already seeing the evolution of these tools. So I just want to bring NA into light. It's something that is interesting. It's been out there for several months now, but it's something that's very interesting. So yeah, that's a thing
Are
that
you
exists.
are you utilizing it?
Not at current. The way that I would utilize it, I haven't fully realized how I would do it. I do have a computer here at home that I could just run N8N on and tie it to whatever services. But
That's
I have
crazy.
I haven't had the time lately to invest. If I had enough money without having a full-time job to attend to, I would have an N8N instance running, doing things for me. Like I would text it from my phone and it would do things in my house and get back to me on how it's doing.
Dude, you could tie that to your Roomba and just be like vacuum the vacuum the floor.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You
That's
you
insane.
absolutely could. Yeah.
That's crazy. What a world, man.
Yeah,
And
dude.
it's only like I think N8N is the first. This is only the tip of the iceberg, and it's only going to get more
Mhm.
progressive. Like it's going to progress more and more.
And it's gonna get there faster and faster too.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
Yeah.
Uh, before we, I did want to talk about your actress next, but before we get there, we got a couple of comments. Rustlin says, "You didn't define banning. Should parents be able to keep their children from being exposed to specific literature ideas in a classroom?" Ooh,
So
um,
so I think when and I'm gonna talk about and Ruslin's my mother. Hi,
oh,
mom.
okay. Hey, what's going on?
so so this is as a parent, I want my son exposed to many points of view and as much information as he can. He goes to public school. basically that means that my vote determines, like, my vote on who runs the school board, my vote on who is in local politics determines what my son learns and is taught. Um, there are things that I know for a fact that he probably will not be exposed to in public school or any school, really,
At least you feel like you
unless,
could safely make an assumption. Yeah.
yeah, there are going to be gaps in his education that I wish there weren't. Um, he is probably not going to learn the extent, really the extent of uh what happened before America was a country. He's going to learn a little bit about the Indians. At least this was my education in Podunk, Missouri.
Yeah.
I learned a little bit about the Indians, and then we kind of jumped just to the Civil Revolutionary War, right?
Yeah.
Um, and from your laughing, I think that's what happened with you as well.
Yep. I mean, mostly. Yeah. It was.
Yeah, yeah. We got to get to where we are a country at least, right?
Yeah.
Um, and we missed a lot. I don't think I remember that I learned about the Trail of Tears in fourth grade, but I didn't really learn about the Trail of Tears,
It
right?
was a thing. It was a thing that happened. Yeah.
It was a thing
And
that happened.
yeah.
And I think that as a society, now we're getting off into philosophy now, but as a
Yeah.
society, we need to reckon with the fact that America was founded on the blood of others.
Yeah.
And I do think that education should focus on that, because if in order for us to be the greatest nation in the world, we have to understand our history. Um, there are other things that aren't going to be taught. In terms of things that I don't want him learning about, I don't want him learning bastardized history.
Yeah.
Um, Oklahoma ordered Bibles with the Constitution in them.
Of course.
Not just that, the Trump Bible. They paid Trump to put Bibles with the Constitution in them, and the first round that they sent out to these Oklahoma schools didn't have the full Constitution in them. It had
Ooh.
it had like, because the Constitution is a living document. It had a prior iteration.
The Constitution asterisk.
Yeah, and
Mm.
that was supposed to be in every public school.
I mean, well, every school, every classroom is what it sounds like. I
Yeah,
don't
every
see.
classroom. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I don't see them making taking a half measure with that.
and
Well,
that's that's what I mean. Like,
yeah, I have a response for your mother, and I know
yeah,
that it made that sound awful, but uh, no, no, I know in the discussion on book banning, I am okay, and now I don't have a child, so you can also take my opinion and just throw it out because that's what you do if you disagree with my point. But I feel like as a parent, if your child is exposed to something, you want them to come to you and talk about it.
yes,
Now,
100%.
there's gonna be instances where they're not going to, but human beings are rebels for a reason. We all resist in some way, yeah, and that's what people get mad about. That's why sheep is a big insult for some people. We all want to do things better than our parents. We all want to do things in our own way. We all want to find our own justification, and of course, there's going to be things that I miss. But I feel like my relationship with my hypothetical child, it has to be at a place where I can understand where they're coming from, where I can see their tells when they're uncomfortable, where I
Mhm.
hopefully can afford the time to spend with them to talk about these ideas, to have hard conversations in a context that's easier for them to understand and digest.
Yeah, I think that's true. I want. I don't think there are any topics that I don't want off the table for my son. I think that there are harder topics than others, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think for me, my biggest issue is, so I think it's no surprise to anyone here. Uh, I was pretty bummed when Trump won re-election.
Yeah.
I was pretty bummed about that. Um, and I heard stories from some of my wife's friends that there was a substitute teacher that was talking about her political beliefs to some elementary age kids.
Kids who were like 5 to 7.
Uh, third to fifth grade.
Okay.
Third to
So
fifth
like
grade.
8, 9, 10. Okay.
Yeah. And I realized I have a big problem with that
Yeah.
because, and I never thought I did. I am an educator. I may not be educating in a classroom right now, but I am an educator. And I came to realize that, it made me look like, oh, okay. If I have a problem with this, did I ever say things that I should not have as an educator? Because I think education should be apolitical, right?
I agree.
Just like what good journalism should be, which is no opinion. This is what happened. These are the facts of what happened. Um, but it's so hard, right? It's
It is.
so hard because how can you be apolitical about something that you diametrically you know,
It's very
disagree
difficult.
with?
Oh no, no.
Yeah.
There are very few things that I have extreme opinions on. Vinyl records, but it's.
God. Did you know that they can't exist in Arizona?
uh, but it's. uh, I could understand that if something is like that much a part of you, uh, it's hard to not talk about. But I feel like if you are in an industry where, as an educator,
Yeah.
where you're providing the information, you have to be responsible enough to not do that. Like I don't want politics in a classroom, especially not at that age. There shouldn't be
Right.
politics. It's just. And that follows up with a Tracy statement following Ruslin's here. That's why they have age appropriate sections. I mean, there are things that should be defined by your age. There's a reason that you can't vote at 5, because I would offer ice cream and candy to all the voters.
Well, that's illegal. You can't offer in voting
I would leave
incentives.
ice cream and candy on tables near the voting areas.
I
And
think it'd be just easier to say, "Hey, 5-year-old, you're voting for this person because I said so."
that probably works too. I think that's also intimidation, but
No
yeah.
bribing necessary.
Yeah. But you had wanted to talk about an AI actress, and I put it in our topic list, and I actually named the wrong AI actress, which is something that should be discussed. So, Will,
It's okay. First off, for those not in the know, AI actresses are now a thing. These are quote unquote entities. They are not, because the current president of the Screen Actors Guild, who is uh it's Sean Astin.
okay,
Samwise Gamgee himself is the president of the Screen Actors Guild. So every actor who acts in a movie is part of a union. And just like what you would think, uh, the union is not very happy about these entities. Uh,
understandable.
Sean Astin has explained or expressed or defined an actor as a human who can emote and personify a performance. All
Okay,
right. This is a very important distinction. Um, Basically, okay, I need to name this entity. Tilly Norwood is an AI entity, and this entity has Hollywood fuming. The reason that it has Hollywood in a tizzy is because the company or um, the people who quote unquote own Tilly Norwood are looking for representation from managers and agents in Hollywood. Now, typically, as an actor, you find an agent, and the agent, you hire an agent, and the agent finds you jobs or auditions for you to be in film, in a movie, right? And then if you get the job, they take a little a cut.
Yeah.
Uh, the company was looking for representation so that the agents could represent the company. People are taking it as they're representing the entity. And it is
Okay.
very, very important that we differentiate the two, because the entity doesn't exist, right? It's not a real person. It
Correct.
doesn't have a checking account,
Right.
right? But the company itself be um wants to be represented.
Yeah.
I am slightly more okay with that than having an AI than having a completely made up entity represented and being in movies, right? And TV shows, which is what everyone is really scared of. Because I mean, we all can know the what the fallout of that looks like, right? That's less roles for actors, that's less money for real actors, and stories then are just prompts. They're just a series of prompts,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah. I want to jump in on that for just a second. I don't mean to cut you off. I know you were
No,
going.
no, no, we're
No,
good.
no, no. It is a frightening thing. It's the idea that we're replacing actors with these entities is very frightening. Like, we have our favorite actors,
Mhm.
we have these people that we subscribe to through whatever service, whether it's buying their movies, clicking subscribe on YouTube. Oh, hey, hey, everybody, like, comment, subscribe. Um, where
Yes,
it's
please
yeah, yeah.
comment, like, and subscribe.
Yeah, yeah, we like those things. Well, we all have these people that we subscribe to their content in one form or another, and we value Taylor Swift fans, and they value Taylor Swift's content. And now we're talking about people that exist more as an idea and an idea as a video, and not as people. And of
Mhm.
course, that's frightening. It's absolutely terrifying. Oh, I'm having trouble finding the Dwayne the Rock Johnson has lost a lot of mass as he's aged. He's not on the steroids anymore. Oh wait, well, I wanted him in his prime in my movie. He's not there anymore. Okay, well, we'll just get this other AI that looks like him. Like, that feels really bad.
And it's wrong, right? That's not that is it's wrong. But also, like, just find a person and hire them.
Yeah,
Like, tell
flex
the
your
story
talent.
you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um I wanted to so Tilly Norwood is a thing. I want to say that I'm less freaked out by this because I it's still going to be an issue, but this is one of the issues that the last writers and actors strike was about.
Yeah.
And right now actors have that freedom, but people are ready to walk out and shudder and literally not work with these agencies anymore. Now, we've had a lot of big agencies already say not we will never be representing AI entities, which I
Yeah.
think is good. Good, because these entities should not be promoted. I honestly believe that. I think it's more of a tool that I think we'll see with commercials moving
Oh,
forward,
absolutely.
though.
You've already seen commercials with AI actors in them.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, 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 and you didn't know. It was
Yeah.
just a commercial with a face.
Yep.
You've seen commercials that were filmed for shoes where the person in the shoe in the commercial wasn't wearing the shoes that were advertised to you.
Well, William, we've already seen TV shows and probably movies with just not real people in them. And I'm
Yeah.
talking like in a digital sense. What comes to mind is there's an episode of Breaking Bad where you have one character on a park bench talking to another character who is basically a police officer, and you see people walking behind them and in front of the camera. That's a filter.
Yeah.
People weren't paid to do that. Those weren't extras. That's a
Right.
filter. So we already have examples of things like that already happening, right? Now, I heard that the only reason I even know about that is because I watched the extra features because I'm a nerd.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
you are.
But but I this there are precedents for this, right? And when there's precedent for something, you can't say something's wrong and then say, but we've been doing this practice for decades. It then becomes an issue of degrees. And that's where legal matters come
Yeah.
in. And I want to kind of shift a little bit because I firmly believe that I don't think digital entities, AI entities, are going to start taking over roles from Tom Hanks or any of these other things. However, there is a conversation to be had about Sora 2
Oh,
because this is
yes.
happening right now and it's fascinating. Let me ask you this, William.
Yes.
Did you ever want to see what it would look like if the Zoids, the Zoids from Power Rangers fought Voltron?
Of course. Like who does
We can now do that.
Yeah. All right. So before we jump into Sora 2, because man, I've oof.
Yeah,
We've got Tracy. Politics not in the classroom. Yes, I agree. Thank you. History and what happened to get our country. Yes, history should be examined. Yeah, this is we are living in the future, and yes, it's gonna and yeah, and to Will's point, yes, Sora 2 is absolutely gonna go down the rabbit hole. Oh, so sorry. One more tangent because we're awful at this. Will had brought up Tilly Norwood, and I just whenever he sent the subject over to me for a possible podcast topic, I just Googled AI actress. And I actually got a different one. I got Xicola. Is an AI actress from Particle 6, which is about which is another entity produced by a company over in the UK. So these are things that are already happening. And with Sora coming, so let me explain Sora to you. OpenAI, the
mhm,
company behind ChatGPT, which is probably the biggest name in large language models, like in general AI that's out
mhm.
there. OpenAI is releasing a social network, and a lot of people in my generation are like, "Oh, gross, social network." But this one's
Another
a
one.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I got tired of social networks before MySpace died. Um, so OpenAI is making a new social network called Sora 2. Now, Sora 2, you don't post videos of yourself. All the videos on Sora 2 are strictly AI generated.
Mhm.
Like
Nothing is
that.
real.
Yeah,
There's no real.
you just type in a prompt and it makes the audio and it makes the video for you, ranging from 8 to 12 seconds long, depending on how much you want to pay OpenAI for their time. And you can take one and take the final scene from it, the final frame, and use that as the beginning prompt for the next video you generate. So you can chain these things together and make really long videos. They also, when they debuted the platform, they were trying to tell other. Oh, sorry, I didn't. So it's a social media platform that you would make your account on, right?
Yep.
Um, so you could, at that point, if you so desired, give OpenAI the ability to use your face and voice by letting it take pictures of you, by speaking into it for long enough, and then you could put yourself into these videos. And anyone
Jeez,
who was your friend on this network,
man.
you have the option of sharing the ability to use you in their videos to them, and they have the option of deciding who can use them in. Who can use their likeness in their videos, and this expands throughout the whole social network. And right now, if you want access to Sora 2, you either have to get a lucky key, which I've been trying to get one and I've been failing because I want it, or you pay OpenAI $200 a month.
Ugh,
I don't. If I had the money, and to be honest, if I had the money, I'd pay it.
I know
Because
you would.
I would. I don't have that laying around right now, and the kinds of things that people are doing with Sora 2 are absolutely wild. I watched a Michael Jackson slap chop commercial. Michael
Yeah.
Jackson's been dead for years. I saw a video today of Tupac standing on an island in Cuba saying, "Yeah, this is where I am." Hasn't aged a day. and it looked true to life.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't, yeah, it like it almost it I didn't believe it was real because I knew it wasn't real. I can see someone who believes that Tupac's out there somewhere watching this video and getting their hopes up again.
People, I mean, I have fallen for some of these Sora videos,
Yeah,
right? There's a
absolutely.
video of a cat being on a porch in the middle of like a storm and the wind gusting it up, and then as it like claws and holds on to like a pillar, it looks like a Ring video. It's fake. It
Yeah.
looks real.
Oh yeah.
That's not like a fantastical video, right? And yeah, there's lots and tons of like character mashups, right? It does it does Peter Griffin incredibly.
Of course.
It does Cartman incredibly.
About that, so I
Yeah.
almost jumped into this earlier. When OpenAI originally released Sora, they were demanding that other companies opt out
Yes,
of being involved.
and that is where I wanted to go in terms of what
Yeah.
legal action is happening right now. So, but
Oh yeah.
anyway, continue.
For instance, some that have popped up a lot. Pokemon.
Mhm.
I watched a cop's body cam footage of Ash Ketchum being arrested for illegal Pokemon fights while Pikachu was carried away in a cage,
Oh my god.
and it looked amazing. I watched a video where SpongeBob got stopped driving at Malibu, and the officers trying to talk to him about why he was driving so crazy, and he's like, "I can't get another ticket," and he drove and he sped off, and it other than SpongeBob being in the car, it looks legitimate. It looks
Yeah.
100% real.
Yeah.
And every word that you heard sounded legit. There were cars passing by in the background, and you could hear them pass by with full left or right in your ear
Yeah.
in your headphones.
And just to make this point, I'm going to beat this point into the ground. This is all created on a computer. There are no voice actors voicing these.
Right.
A piece of software created that. The music, the sound, the ambience, um, and what you see. It is 100% digital,
Yeah.
but it looks just like you and me.
Yeah,
Okay?
it's probably has higher definition than our current YouTube broadcast, to be
Probably does.
100% honest.
Probably.
And yeah, we're only broadcasting in like 1080p. So,
Yeah.
only 1080p. Sorry,
Ugh.
just showing my age. Uh, but no, you wanted to talk about the lawsuits. I know Nintendo, and like we've talked, like I am not a fan of Nintendo. Like they lost me just because of the activities of their lawyers. Like you don't need to be sending people to people's houses like that.
Yeah, they went pretty hard. But in regards to this and Sora 2 and opting out, it is still it's still like that. So,
No, it's not. No, it's not.
oh, they changed it.
They
That's
did
right.
change it.
So,
Well, I think Nintendo's lawyers were talking to OpenAI's lawyers, and as much money as that company's got, they still need billions and billions and billions more. So I think Nintendo's saying we have a case here because we have patents in the country you're based out of.
yep.
I think OpenAI immediately shifted their standpoint. In strict regard to Mario being stopped in his cart and watching another cop's body cam video of Mario being stopped and then running away from a police stop. So
So, and this is where the legal strategy comes into comes into play here, because there is a theory going around that what OpenAI is looking for, in fact, what all of the tech companies are looking for, is more lawsuits, more. So
yeah,
there can be a class action. So this all gets solved in a single court case
makes
instead of
sense.
them all being individual. Now, I would argue we want them all individual because as as frustrating as that would be, and as much as I don't want, because I still have dreams of being a filmmaker or something, some sort of creator, right?
Yeah,
Creating an IP, and I don't want whatever that is being used as training for an AI model, right? but you can create right now a video where Peter Griffin is arguing with Wednesday from the Netflix show, and that's okay. And it doesn't necessarily overwrite copyright, which I think it absolutely does in some way, but they're not suing over it. But you can't do that with, say, the actress,
Right.
uh, Jenna Ortega. No, that's not it. I forgot her name. The actress who plays Wednesday.
Yeah.
Um, you you can't use her, but you can use her character. Um, it's fascinating. This is fascinating, right? We're in legal waters we've never been in before.
Well, yeah.
And I honestly think that these large companies, Netflix, Warner Brothers, Apple, missed the point from where they should have hit with legal lawsuits.
Oh, yeah.
That point has come and gone.
Oh, yeah.
Um, that should have happened before the couple years ago when the strikes happened,
Uh,
right?
yeah. If you, okay, I'm going to send you a video after that. Actually, maybe I'll actually just post it to our channel.
Yeah,
Video,
yeah.
Will Smith eating spaghetti. From 2023. It was entirely AI generated, and I'm going to send you one from 2025.
Yeah.
And the difference will blow your mind. And 2023 is when they should have spoke up, because now the cat is out of the bag. Every
Mhm.
like if I pay $200 a month, I have access to make videos that are virtually like whatever I want them to be. Now there's going to be
With whatever you want
yeah,
also.
yeah, yeah,
There's some characters that I think Disney has a tight wrap on a lot of their characters and IPs, so
yeah.
you can't really use them.
Well, yeah, but
Um,
it's not hard to make a description of what that character looks like and then
that's
have
true.
the model fill it in. Now, I don't want Mickey Mouse, but I do want a 3 foot tall anthropomorphic mouse with perfectly circular ears. It's not
True.
difficult to get around these things, and that's my whole point. Like today, what I can download and run on my computer to run my entire smart home is so much smarter than what they had
Yeah.
running in these servers and data centers that take more power to run than my apartment uses in a year, every hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the amount of distillation that has gone on to make these models so powerful. Samsung released a model yesterday that, as far as like logic and reasoning, like determining the order of things and understanding physics, is outperforming OpenAI. It's outperforming Grok. It's outperforming
Mhm.
Anthropic's Claude, and I can run it on my cell phone.
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
Yeah, dude, and this video generation thing is
Yeah.
gonna end up on people's computers at home. I mean, and they're gonna make awful things with it because they're gonna remove the restrictions.
Well, I'm gonna tell everyone, um, past and future, right? You have been fooled by an AI video.
Yeah, absolutely.
100% you have watched something that you thought was silly that was 100% AI and you didn't know because it wasn't clearly told, right?
Yeah.
And gosh, this is how I know I'm getting older. This needs government oversight. I firmly believe that there needs to be some sort of oversight where it needs to be said that if you are watching something, reading something, that there needs to be some sort of uh disclaimer. This was used, this is entirely AI created. This was used with the help of AI. I think that's necessary.
Well,
I think it's necessary going forward. I
well,
really do.
well, yeah. It's you can see it in YouTube's terms of service. If you use AI content generation, you need to denote that.
Sure.
It's I used AI in the generation of our logo. Like back in the day, it's been refined and refined and refined. But when I built this video, it denotes that I used AI. But because we're not monetized, they don't care. You know what I
Fair.
mean? So yeah, Sora 2 puts this Sora watermark in every video that changes position every so often. The first thing that people did was take another different AI that inputs these Sora 2 videos and specifically and only removes the watermark. That's the
Yeah.
first thing that people did.
Yep.
So it's the big scare, coming back to Hollywood,
Yeah.
coming back to all of our lives, coming back to what I was talking about in 2021. Like, and actually, we got to wrap up here shortly. So,
I know.
uh, it's AI is coming for everybody's job.
It is.
It really, and when when people hear me say that, they're like, "Oh, not the billionaires." Oh, no, no, it's coming for them too,
Yep.
because the AI is going to run their companies better than they do. It's
Hmm.
it's kind of hard to find my stance on that. I'm passionate about AI. I think it's going to do amazing things for humanity or kill all of us. Those are the only two options.
And here's the thing. It's not going to be Terminator. That's not how AI kills us. It's not going to be
No,
the Matrix. It's going to be through spreadsheets.
I am so good at spreadsheets. You have no
I know.
idea.
I know you are, but AI is much better at it
It
than
is, and
you
I'm
are.
upset about it. It's like,
Yeah.
God, it's another John
Um
Henry reference.
I yeah. I did want to mention a little bit where it gets really sticky is I mentioned the character of Wednesday.
Mhm.
You can make the character of Wednesday on this tool. Should the actress be paid for that? I would argue yes,
Does the
because
the sorry, go ahead. Does the
it's
actress
using
go ahead.
because the actress it's using the actress's likeness, right?
Now, does she own it? Does she own her likeness?
And that's the sticky point,
You
right?
know what this remi
Because it's owned by Netflix, right? So
th
Netflix owns the likeness, which is where it that differentiation comes from. Like, I believe I have to look up the actress's name. You know what? Okay, Will Smith.
well, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's say his character K from the Men in
Men in
Black
Black.
films.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that is owned by Warner Brothers, I
Mhm.
believe. Universal or Warner Brothers. You Universal. It's owned by someone. um, that look is owned by the company that produced that. But if you say I want a video of Will Smith and Chris Rock kissing instead of one slapping the other,
Yeah.
do those men, do those actors get paid for what you just created?
Maybe not if they don't own the rights to their own image. If somebody, like,
Now, I will say this. I will say this. I have always thought that that was fucking stupid.
oh, yeah, I mean,
Owning the right to your own image.
yeah,
You're a human.
hey, that's the direction these are things are leading. Now, I have a strong disdain for copyright in general because it's not used the right way.
Sure.
It's used as an instrument to stifle innovation and not as an instrument to say this is my ownership. And it's
Right.
because these companies own ideas and not
Yep.
because
It's
yeah,
you can thank
it's
Disney for that. You
yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
100% thank Disney for that.
Hey, that and that's why I watch other animated movies, not theirs. But no, it's
Right.
it is a really sticky thing. Do you like my last comment before we close? Do you remember when that cameraman handed his camera to a baboon and the baboon took a photo that it went to court to decide who owned it? Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know this
There's
story
a
at
whole okay.
all.
Okay. We'll put that. A man handed his camera to a baboon, and the baboon snapped a photo, and it turned into a like it was a big deal. Like oh hey, a monkey took a picture, a monkey fingerprint. Yeah, whatever. Monkeys do things, and
Right.
it turned into this big deal because this guy was trying to sell it, and somebody brought up the point that he didn't take the photo because
But it was his camera.
I mean, the monkey
He
was using
owned
it.
the tool. He owned the
Yeah,
tool that was used and he chose to give it, so he gave permission. I mean,
I don't know. I
I
don't
can
remember.
understand the legalese to it, but it's the man's picture.
Uh,
He hired he
a
hired out.
primate. Yeah.
He
Uh,
hired out. He got he got an independent contractor to shoot the picture. And an NDA was signed with, a monkey foot And
No, I'll get the notes on it, but it's just one of those really complex things, and
yeah.
I do think that we're going to see a lot of lawsuits. I hope we see something soon because I do want to see some kind of direction on it, other than a company lives in fear of backlash, so they just tighten some parameters.
Yeah. And again, there needs to be government oversight on this. N-
Well,
Not
then,
because I don't trust our companies. I don't actually no, I take that back. I don't trust our companies to do the right thing. I think it's good that YouTube has has that in their policies that you have to denote when you use AI. Um, but that's one company.
yeah. Well, and yeah, you say you want government oversight. Okay, so hey, it's wish come true. Poof, the United States government now has all the rules exactly as you wanted on AI. What are you gonna do
Mhm.
about what China does?
And that's the thing, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah,
AI knows no borders.
yeah. The internet doesn't have borders yet, but we'll see. We'll see if it dies off soon enough for a callback to an older episode. But
Sure, sure. I do think I don't know. I don't know. We're not going to get political. We've
yeah,
talked too
yeah,
much.
yeah. No. Moving on to closing statements. Hey, everybody, thank you for joining us. We went live with some new tools, and I just remembered that, so I'm actually going to bring them up now, so I can hopefully use them properly. Uh, so, thank you for joining us here at Willfully Wrought this evening. If you have not yet, and this is like honest, and it feels so damned cliche because we're on YouTube, but hit a thumbs up, like the video, comment on the video for visibility, and subscribe to the channel. It feels good, it looks good, and one day we'll have
Mhm.
some monetization.
And share it with people who you think would enjoy knowing us or enjoy the conversation. Uh, we're trying to grow our audience. We would love some uh, some some feedback as well. Send us emails, comments, and yeah, we'll read them on the show.
All right. Yeah, and if you feel like being a part of the show, we actually do have a guest program, so we can actually have some guests join. We have a lot of comments from Tracy. Yeah, she something about Power Rangers. She's too much work. Probably not saying it. She gets to keep her job. Yes, too. Bye. Thanks for the invite. Well, hey, thanks for joining us, and thank you everyone for joining us here at Willfully Wrought this evening. And have a wonderful evening.